Yes, people, what is good? And welcome back to my channel. It's Tapping Tobs here, back with another post-match reaction. And not surprised by the result. Not going to spare you with all the usual YouTube ad hoc admin nonsense about like, share, like this. No, we're here to talk about Spurs and we're here to talk about yet another loss. This is 4 defeats on the spin. And I think this was probably the most obvious defeat of all the defeats that we've had so far, right? Newcastle going into that, they had players injured, but yeah, maybe Spurs could do something. Arsenal's a North London derby, maybe Spurs could do something. Chelsea, they've not been in the best of form. Maybe Spurs could do something, but this one was a guaranteed loss because Spurs don't win at Anfield. All we do is lose games and shit goals. And that is what happened today, right? 4 losses on the spin. 4 losses on the spin. 4 goals conceded against Liverpool. 3 goals conceded against Arsenal. 2 goals conceded against Chelsea. 4 goals conceded against Newcastle. 4 against Newcastle. 8 when you add Liverpool today. 11 when you add Arsenal's game. 13 when you add Chelsea's game. We've conceded 13 goals in our last 4 games. We're averaging over 3 goals conceded per game. This is how we're ending our season. This is how we're ending our season. We want to go outside like this. I'm now having to look at the table and do mathematics as to what it's going to take for Spurs to basically throw away Europa, because that's how bad the form is at the moment. And in my mind, I still expect Tottenham to finish 5th because I feel like as bad as we've been, as bad as we've been, the teams behind us have basically left themselves with too much to do with the games they have left. United play Newcastle at their ground. United still have to play Arsenal at their ground. 2 out of our last 3 games are going to be against one team that's been relegated in Sheffield United away from home, and the other is Burnley at home. If you can't get 6 out of 9 points in your next 2 games, you do not deserve Europa League football, let alone Champions League football. But I don't want to talk about that now. I want to talk about today's game, today's performance, because, bro, the dossier is heavy. The dossier is heavy, bro. It is heavy. Shocking first half. Oh, my days. I did my Chelsea post-match, and I remember laying into the players. Didn't really speak on the manager much, even though the manager was culpable. Today, I'm going to do the opposite. I want to just go through the goals first. And then I'm going to talk on the manager, because Ange has a lot to answer for. He does. I mean, 2-0 down in the first half. Nobody was shocked. I did a call with Saeed and a call with Grizz at halftime. Spurs had conceded 13 shots to our goal at halftime. By halftime, sorry. We only had 1 shot, 0 on target. Neville and co were praising us because we had a good start to the game. Yeah, we had a good start to the game, a good 5 minutes, maybe a good 10 minutes. But so what? So what? We keep more of the ball, but we can't break through teams. Teams pack out the midfield. They make it difficult for us to play through the midfield. So then we have to funnel the ball out wide. And when we funnel the ball out wide, we know what happens. Embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing, man. I mean, the goals, Jesus Christ. The first goal from Mo Salah. Like Emerson Royale. Yeah. I just can't see how Ange could watch what we watched on Thursday and still say, yeah, great, I'm going to play Emerson Royale again at left back. Not even just ordinary left back position. No, I'm going to play Emerson Royale as an inverted left back. Emerson Royale loses his man for the first goal. Vicario, I think he should do better with that goal, but Emerson Royale completely loses his man for the first goal. He has no idea where Mo Salah is. The second goal, shocking clearance from Bentancur again, who I didn't think played well today. And then you got Pedro Porro, who has no spatial awareness whatsoever. Andy Robertson ghosts in, gets a shot, and somehow gets the rebound. Gets a shot off, or gets a pass, which leads to a shot, and somehow gets the rebound. Where's our right back? What's he doing? Third goal, Emerson again. He did this shit against Wolves from left wing back, thinking that you have all the time and space in the world. I don't know what gives this guy the confidence to think that he has so much time on the ball. You're playing at Anfield. You're playing with your back You're playing with your back to Liverpool's goal. You don't know what dangers in front of you. Oh, sorry, you don't know what dangers approaching you. Why are you doing this lay thing? Completely fumbles, messes up the play, messes up the rhythm, catches Spurs out cold, and then good leap from Gakpo to get the header over Romero's head, and we're 3-0 down. Liverpool deserved this, by the way. Fully deserved it. They were way better than Tottenham today. Way better than Tottenham today. The only time Liverpool looked poor was when they were 4-0 up. They took their foot off the gas. We made the changes, and then we started attacking. Right? So the only thing I'll say with Liverpool is it was too easy to get in behind the defense. We got in behind the defense. I lost count of the amount of times we were getting in behind the defense in the last 15 minutes of the game. But by then, they had already done their job. The match is done. And Elliot, fantastic hit. Maybe I'm not going to blame Emerson for that. I probably won't blame him for that because, listen, he's tried to head the ball away. Unfortunately for him, he's headed it straight into Salah's path. But even if I took away the blame for that goal on Emerson, I mean, Emerson's got blood in his hands for today's performance anyway. They were just destroying his side. And I'm going to talk on the manager for that as well. But Elliot, great hit from him. 4-0 down, game over, sayonara, blah, 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 yeah. Yeah? Blah, 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 blah. The rest is history. Yes, we scored 2 goals. Good goal from Richarlison. We've seen that goal a million times. Good pass from Basuma. Very good pass from Basuma, in fact. Cross from Johnson. Richarlison, good finish. He actually came on and did well. I'm going to talk on these players. Second goal, good play from Skip. Good play from Richarlison. Son scores. But it's too little too late. It's too little too late. Roy Keane said something on the post-match reaction. He said that it's easier to play in those games when you're down and out because you have nothing else to lose. When there's real pressure on you to perform, that's when you see the true test of a player, or that's when you see the true quality of a player. And when there was actually something to play for in the first half and second half, where were our players? Pathetic, honestly, pathetic performance, man. Pathetic. But before I lay into our players, I want to talk on the manager because I've spoken about Emerson Royale. Emerson Royale is he needs to go, right? But my thing is, how can Ange Postecoglou watch what Emerson Royale did against Chelsea? He watched Emerson Royale get blended, chopped, screwed, diced, blammed, walloped, battered, rinsed, ragdolled. He got ruined by Noni Madueke. That's Noni Madueke. He got ruined by Noni Madueke, who's not a bad player, but he's not a good player either. He's a meaty player. So what do you think Mo Salah is going to do? What do you think Trent Alexander-Arnold is going to do with this Emerson guy? When they saw Emerson playing left back, they must have been licking their lips. And our manager watched that against Chelsea, watched that in the first half, and still didn't make any change to address the issues on our left-hand side until we were 4-0 down. Until we were 4-0 down. That is not good enough from Ange Postecoglou. I'm sorry, it's not good enough. You can't just stand there and stare your way out of it, thinking something's going to happen. Liverpool are not going to stop attacking that side. What do you think is going to happen? We had a centre-back on the bench. You could have switched shape. You could have played 3 centre-backs. You could have used wing-backs. Why? And the thing is, he's not even playing Emerson as a normal left back. He's playing him inverted. The guy can't even invert properly at right back now. Not in this system, where there's actually more responsibility for what he does on the ball in terms of build-up. He can't even do it properly in this system. And you're letting him do it in an unfamiliar position. Of course, they're going to pick his pocket. Of course, they're going to pick his pocket. Of course, they're going to ghost him behind him. Of course, they're going to rinse him. So whilst I'm criticizing Emerson, right, because he's bad and needs to be sold, right, I have to look at the manager for putting a player in such a compromising position and not doing anything about it until the game's done. The midfield 3, I tweeted before the game, that midfield 3, there's no way that midfield 3 should be starting at Anfield. Sorry, this should not be, unless there's a major injury crisis. You've literally got 2 guys that play as the creative hub in the team. One is out of form in Madison. Okay, cool. You dropped him against Chelsea. You want to make a statement. Fair. But you've got Lo Celso there. What does Lo Celso have to do to buy a start? He came on against Chelsea, he looked bright. He came on today again, he looked bright. What does he have to do to start? When we had the injury crisis and he was picked to play, he performed. He performed. I can't believe I'm sticking up for Lo Celso here, but I'm just looking at the squad dynamic now, because the midfield has been a mess for the last couple of months. Guys have been out of form. Guys have been stinking. And one guy who's actually giving you some sort of positivity, you don't start him. And if anything, you don't bring him on until the game's done. What's the point? Why are you, what did Ange think he was going to achieve with that flat midfield three? There was one bit of play in the first half, or I think it must have been the second half. First or second half. I think it might have been the second half, where I think Bentancur has the ball. He's got two options on the right, two on the left, I think, or one on the left, two on the right. It's an easy pass. I think it's Son. It's an easy pass into Son. Son's through on goal, and he completely fumbles the pass with his left foot, plays it on the right-hand side, and it doesn't even reach a Spurs player. If that's Lo Celso, he's getting that pass into Son. These are basic things, basic adjustments that would have probably led to Spurs not being 4-0 down before Ange made the wholesale changes. Basic adjustments. No change at half time. Why? 13 attempts, 2-0 down, yet you don't want to change anything at half time. I've got all the patience and time based off this season. In fact, I don't, that's a lie. I've got patience and time for Ange. I really do. And I've said this repeatedly. I still think he's been a net positive in our season. But the way the season is ending, it's not good. And it doesn't bode well. Having a manager sat there in the dugout watching the same thing happen to us over and over and over again and not doing anything about it until it's too late, it's worrying. It's not good. The only thing I'll say that didn't cook us today is set pieces. We didn't concede from a set piece today. Oh, hey. It's not good enough, man. It's not good enough from Ange, right? And he's been talking a lot this past couple of days, and I'm with him. He said there needs to be change. There may be players that are good, but they just can't play the way he needs them to play, and that's okay. I'm more than happy with that. I've been saying it's going to be a big summer yet again. It's going to be a big summer, right? Fifth is not a bad position to be in for Spurs. It's a disappointment, in my opinion, but it's not a bad position to be in. As disappointing as it is, because really and truly, we have the capacity to get fourth, and we've completely thrown it. But what will be a disappointment, and what has been a disappointment, is the manner in which we're losing. It's the manner in which we're losing, and it's the lack of adjustment from the manager to address things that are hurting us in the game. Forget about, completely scrapping your way of playing. Fine. But can you make some slight tactical tweaks to stop the same shit happening to us? Can you maybe not play Emerson as an inverted left back? Can you maybe try and give Dragusin some minutes and maybe see what you can do with Van de Ven, right? To try and address the issue on the left-hand side. Can you actually play the offensive midfielders in an offensive midfield position? Can we not play a number 8 can we not play a flat number 8 as a number 10? Can we not do that? Can we stop playing Kulusevski out wide? Because it stunk for pretty much all but 2.5 games in 2024. Can we stop? My boy said something that was so true and so telling. At the start of the season, one of the main reasons why we praised Ange Postecoglou is because he was making changes that were obvious. Like, you obviously have to make these changes in game, and it worked in his favor. Now you're not doing stuff that's making sense. Emerson at left wing back, inverted. It doesn't make sense. Bentancur as the 10. It does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. He made the changes. Skip at left back. You're really telling me Skip at left back? You'd rather play Skip at left back, who came on and did okay, but I mean, the game was done by then. You'd rather play Skip at left back instead of changing and putting Van de Ven at left back and putting Dragusin at left centre back, and maybe tightening up, being a bit more compact, so you don't have to use one of your centre backs as a consistent sweeper. Small tweaks. That's all we're asking for. And I mean the players, man. My goodness, the players. Sarr, oh my God. Sarr, shocking performance against Chelsea and shocking performance again today. He shouldn't have started. He shouldn't have started. And I've said this to a couple of my mates. They're like, oh, why has Sarr been dropped? Sarr's been dropped because he's not playing well. Sorry, he's not playing well. He's not playing well. And Bentancur, I don't think he was great today, but me personally, if I'm looking at Burnley, I'm playing Bentancur, Bissouma, and I'm playing Lo Celso. That's the midfield I'd go with. Play the inform number 8, because when Bentancur played in the 8 against Arsenal, he was actually calm. Bissouma, funnily enough, who's been stinking at the joint in 2024, has actually been one of our better performances in recent games. Play that team, play a proper midfield. The midfield balance has been all over the shop because guys are just stinky in their form. Sarr's form, pants, loose touches, losing the ball in dangerous moments. 2 turnovers from him against Chelsea led to 2 chances they created. Today, turns over the ball in such a dangerous situation, and it leads to a chance for Liverpool. Pedro Porro, porous Porro. That's what I'm calling him, porous, because he is porous. Teams are poking holes through Pedro Porro. Defensively, they're poking holes through him, and on the ball, he's so wasteful. He played some good passes today, but he's so wasteful. He's so wasteful. Turning over possession, no need. Fumbling basic passes. Too many of our players out of form. And I've slammed the manager. I've slammed his tactics in recent games. I've slammed his lack of adjustments. But ultimately, some of these players aren't even playing the way he's set them up to play because they're just so badly out of form. Today, for the second goal, putting your hand up, trying to call offside instead of reading, anticipating the danger and following Andy Robertson's run. You're ball watching instead of watching the man. Shit, sorry, I just nearly smacked my mic. It's not good enough, man. It's not good enough. Honestly, it's not good enough. I mean, oh God, there's so many players I can come for. I don't want to deep dive into Emerson. We know what it is with Emerson. He needs to be sold. Thank you for your service. He did an all right job. I was calm with him at right back for this season because I thought defensively, that's your thing. You play at right back, you're at the very least competent defensively. But even that, you're not giving us recently. I already knew Emerson wasn't good on the ball, but even the competence from a defensive standpoint, he's not even giving us that right now. This summer, it has to be the last summer Emerson has at Spurs. We need to move him on. But again, I'm looking more to the manager for that one. I'm looking more to the manager for constantly playing a poor player in a position where you know he's going to fail and you do nothing about it until the game's done. That's poor. That's on Ange. That's on Ange. Sorry, it's on him. Kulusevski. Oh my God, mamma mia. Listen, we blamed that Italian journal, but my goodness, has he come back with a vengeance? Because the Kulusevski that we're seeing, it's not good enough. And let me give you an example of what Kulusevski is like. You see Arsenal, really good in terms of his middle third work, winning the ball back, tracking back, bringing others into play, playing some good passes into the final third, carrying the ball. But when you get into the final third, what can you do for us, brother? Nothing. Nothing. He doesn't want to shoot. He cuts inside and puts in these stupid, poor, lofted, no-paced crosses that will almost certainly land at a goalkeeper's hand or the opposition's defender's head. They very rarely meet their man. When was the last time Kulusevski's cut inside and whipped in the ball that's actually found our player? Richarlison against Nottingham Forest last year, where Kulusevski was really good, man of the match performance. When are we going to see that Kulusevski? The guy who's actually creating chances. In the first half of the season, you can say what you want to say about Kulusevski in terms of his general wing play, but he was creating chances. 2024, no goals. Barely any chances created. Turning over possession. This guy's got 1 GA in his last 18 appearances for Tottenham. And you're playing wide. Let this season be the end of Kulusevski out wide. Because last summer, it was... And you can go back in my videos. Last summer, and it's not just me, many Spurs fans, we saw a lesser version of this last season where he was poor second half of the campaign. And we all came to the conclusion in some of that we need a first choice right winger to push Kulusevski as a rotational piece out on the wing. Now I'm scrapping that. I don't want to see him on the wing anymore. Nope, no mass, no more. You either play centrally like you want, because he said that. I want to play 8. I want to play central. You either play centrally or you go. You either play centrally or you go. No two ways about it. You play centrally or you go. That's how the club have to be. When we talk about a rebuild, it's going to be painful. It's going to be this. This is what I mean. I like Kulusevski, but I cannot tolerate these performances out wide. They are pathetic. They are pathetic. Toothless. We get almost no goal threat now with Kulusevski out wide. We just get a lot of work rate, a lot of ball retention, and a lot of nothing after that. It's not good enough. Compare him to his peers. Leon Bailey dusts him. Saka dusts him. Neto dusts him. Elise dusts him. Garnacho, who I don't even rate like that. Garnacho dusts Kulusevski out wide. Dusts him. How many players are dusting him? Even Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson is so mid. And Brennan Johnson's performances in recent weeks clear anything we've seen from Kulusevski out wide in 2024. Not 2023, 2024. And this is a meaty Brennan Johnson who doesn't even have half the technical quality Kulusevski has. So the point I'm making is this. Kulusevski's days out wide, they must end this season. They must end. We've seen him put in some good performances centrally. And even there, he's been consistent. Or he's been inconsistent, sorry. So what I'm asking is this. Next season, where we're going to hopefully be playing European football, rotate him. Let him be the rotation piece in the midfield as an 8. And let him try and earn his right to start there. I don't want to see him be a dead starter. His minutes have to be completely rationed next season. Let the guys who are better suited to this team take those minutes and let him be a rotation piece and let him work for his minutes. Because these performances, they're not on. Pathetic. I've had it. I've had it. Being one of my favorites does not mean you're exempt from criticism. Anyone who knows me knows how much I like this guy, but I can't take these performances. I can't take them. They're nothing performances. And Son, speaking of nothing performances, Son is in danger of making the good work he's done this season mean, I'm not going to say mean nothing, but Son is in danger of people forgetting the good work he's done this season because of how bad he's played the last couple of weeks. That's how bad the performances have been. They have been bad. Like, we already knew Son was cooked out wide. We already knew that, but it's a consequence of us not doing the right work in the summer window and the winter window to bring in the players that can genuinely give us a better uplift on Son. The guy who we signed on loan is crap and he's injured. And yes, maybe you can say he's put in better performances out wide, but he's injured. The other guy who we signed in the summer, I'm not going to speak on him because, boy, I don't want to get cancelled, but even him, he's been injured. Son, whether he's playing out on the left or playing centrally, his performances in recent weeks have been diabolical. The touch is loose. The link play is off. The dribbling is terrible. The only thing that he's done to a good standard is the shooting. He can still shoot, but everything else, poor. And that leads me to my next point, because I've seen a lot of Spurs fans say, get rid of Son. No, it does not make sense to go out of your way to get rid of our captain and the only guy who can actually finish. I think it's clear. Son's days as this all-action attacker, they're gone. He's good at two things: making good runs off the ball and shooting it with both feet. That's his MO. Anything outside of that, we need to stop expecting it from Son. And the only way we're going to move on from Son is if we buy the players that can genuinely put Son on the bench. I keep asking this question. It's all good and well saying drop Son, but who do we drop him for? What, we drop him for out-of-form Kulusevski? We drop him for injury-prone Richarlison, who's only just come back from injury recently? Or we drop him for a bang-average Brennan Johnson? Who do we drop him for? Who do we drop him for? Next season, it's clear. The mandate is clear. This attack is poor. It's a poor attack. Make no mistake about that. Next year, the mandate is clear. Get at least 2 players in that mean that certain man either get discarded as attacking options altogether in Kulusevski's case, or in Son's case, he can sit on the bench. He can come in and out of the team. Right? Yes, I'm so critical of Son's performances the last 2 months because they've been pathetic. But this guy has scored 17 league goals for Tottenham this season. 17 and 8 assists. 17 league goals. This guy's going to be what, 32? 32? It's enough. It's enough. For years and years and years, we've had to bleed the likes of Son and Kane. So reliant on Son and Kane. We spent 50 million in the summer and brought in 3 attackers, and we're still here so reliant on Son. If Son doesn't do it, who's going to do it for Spurs? It's embarrassing, bro. Sorry, this is a very long one. Very long one. Normally it's 10 minutes, but bro, embarrassing, bro. And when I say reliant or reliable, people might talk on Richarlison. Richarlison's got what, 11 league goals for us this season, came on. Good cameo today, good impact. But Richarlison, he's not a good player. He's not a good player, and he's injury prone. Let's be serious. I got time for Richarlison too, but he's not good. So when we talk about guys who need to be moved on, maybe players who you may like, Richarlison is in that boat for me. This summer, there needs to be an attitude where we go about looking to sell him. There needs to. And it sounds mad saying this after he's come on and put in a cameo, but he's just not at the level. And he's injury prone. But big up to him, because he actually came on and gave Liverpool's defense some problems. He actually asked questions of that Liverpool defense. He came on making his runs constantly, timing his runs, got his goal, got his assist. If he had started that game, who knows what could have happened? Who knows what could have happened? But obviously, Ange Postecoglou wants to start Kulusevski out wide after a stinky-ass performance against Chelsea. Make it make sense to me. And Brennan Johnson, listen, Brennan Johnson got his assist, but my goodness, man, why is he so meaty? Oh, you don't understand how much I dislike this attack. It's something that I've maintained throughout the season. I don't like our attack. It is not good enough. Brennan Johnson in the first half, I couldn't believe what I was watching from him, Son and Kulusevski. Oh, Lord. Son just couldn't even keep the ball. He couldn't trap the ball. Kulusevski cutting inside, doing nothing. And Brennan Johnson got the ball and he was just running straight into Trent. No ingenuity, no guile, no trickery. And this is someone who's not even like a horrendous dribbler. Like, you can actually move, shift, adjust your body. Like, I've seen him go at players. I've seen him go at Reece James. I've seen him go at Matty Cash. I've seen him go at Gvardiol. I've seen him go at guys. Like, I've seen him go at Tyreek Mitchell. Like, I don't think he's the worst dribbler. You've got something there. It may not be great. It may not be clean. You may not be good at it, but you're not horrendous at it to the point where you're literally getting the ball and playing like a Neanderthal. Sorry, I'm not trying to be rude, but like, I just couldn't understand what was going on there. He would have the ball and Trent is here, he's here, and he's just running into Trent. He's just running into Trent. What's going on? These are the type of attackers Spurs are going out and spending 50 million on. Meaty. I've made my peace with Brennan Johnson. Like, he's not going anywhere. And he's proven that he can be an impact off the bench. He's proven that. So that's what it needs to be next season, because we cannot be in a position where at least 2 of these men next season are dead cert starters. We can't. If I had it my way, all 3 shouldn't be starters. Spurs should be going out and signing 3 attackers, but we all know that's not going to happen in one window. But at the very least, 2 of these men need to be pushed to the bench. 2, minimum. Minimum. So meaty. So meaty. Like, we got work to do, man. We got work to do. We got serious work to do. in the summer. We need a backup right back to actually, it's not, in fact, not even backup. We need a right back who's good. Someone who can genuinely challenge Pedro Porro to either up the levels or sit your ass down on the bench. We need the same for Destiny on his side. We definitely need minimum two attackers. We need a number 6. There's so much we need, and that's not even scratching the surface. We need a striker, folks. We need a striker. So really and truly, we need 3 attackers. 3. It's not good enough. It is not good enough, Tottenham. It's not good enough, Ange Postecoglou. Big summer ahead, and you better not bottle 5th. You better not bottle 5th. 6 out of 9 points is all we need, in my opinion, to guarantee 5th. I look at the table now. Let me check the table now, right? Because I was doing the maths yesterday. Right? And I say 6 out of 9 points because this team, if they know what's good for themselves, they will lose to Man City, right? I look at this table now. Newcastle, same games played, double our goal difference, by the way. Our goal difference has taken a beating. We are on 11 goal difference, 60 points. Newcastle on 22 goal difference, 56 points, right? Chelsea, who I've criticized all season, are 6 points behind Spurs, right? On the same goal difference. This is how bad we've been the last couple of weeks, and this is how inconsistent we've been in 2024. Chelsea are 6 points behind us on the same goal difference. Man United are 6 points behind us with 1 game in hand. So if they beat Palace tomorrow, they go 3 points behind us, right? You better not bottle this 5th spot. Yeah? So for me, it's clear. It is clear. Man United's goal difference is poor, right? But really and truly, if Man United, I bang out really and truly. Someone told me I bang out really and truly, and it stuck with me. But Man United, even if they won tomorrow and they're 3 points behind us, they play Newcastle at home, they play Arsenal at home. Spurs have 3 games left, Burnley at home, Man City at home, Sheffield United away. That has to be minimum 6 out of 9 points. 6 out of 9 points, you're getting Europa League football. 5th. You're getting 5th. 6 out of 9 points, it should mathematically guarantee you 5th. When you look at the gap on Chelsea and the goal difference in comparison to Man United. If this team bottle 5th, and if you bottle 5th, conversations will be had. Anyway, people, I'm out, man. Bless up.